Hello folks, Phil Gallagher, ThrabenU here for another modern video. Today we are going to be playing with John D's Golgari Graveyard deck. Um, and buckle up, this one's going to be a little wild. There's a lot of cards that kind of look questionable here, but I've been told that everything has a place and a purpose, so I'm not touching a single card here. We're just going to go into the league with this deck just like this. So, what's going on? Essentially, we are sort of a true Golgari deck in that we're really going and playing with graveyard synergies. We are going to use cards like Death Bonnet Sprout, which mills a card at the beginning of our upkeep, and cards like Stitcher's Supplier, as well as things like Satyr Wayfinder to fuel our graveyard. Okay? Once stuff is there, we are going to take advantage of cards like Fiend Artisan, Splinterfright, Old Stickfingers, and Jarad, Golgari Lich Lord, that kind of get bigger as we go and have more and more cards in graveyard. And similarly, Death Bonnet Sprout transforms into Death Bonnet Hulk, which continuously gets bigger. When you have a 3/3 that keeps growing for 1 mana, that's a very good return on your investment, right? That's sort of the upside for it being a little slow to start with. And in addition, Fiend Artisan also can be a tutor engine for some of these larger cards. So you can go and Stitcher's Supplier, sacrifice a Stitcher Supplier off Fiend Artisan, get another one, and continue to just grow this thing by very large amounts. Or you could even go and tutor up a Grist. Remember, Grist is considered a creature while in library, so you can tutor it up with a Fiend Artisan. And ultimately, we're looking to hit with some very big, very trampley creatures. Or otherwise cheat on mana using Delve, and we know based on Murktide Regent how good Delve can be. I need to reread this card, it's been a little while. When you cast a spell, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal X creature cards. Put all creature cards revealed this way into your graveyard, put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. And then it has power and toughness equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard. So, rest in peace is bad. We don't want to see a rest in peace, but outside of that, hopefully we'll do pretty well. We have a couple of kind of fringe sideboard cards here, so I'm going to highlight those real quick. We do have Punishment, which destroys each artifact, creature, and enchantment with exactly mana value X, not X or less like a Pernicious Deed. We do have Turn the Earth. Choose up to 3 target cards in graveyards. The owner of those cards shuffle them into their libraries, and you gain 2 life. And of course, we have Gnaw to the Bone, which has seen a decent amount of play. You gain 2 life for each creature card in your graveyard. I'm guessing you figured it out. Hopefully, we're going to have a lot of cards in graveyards here. So I'm recording this on February 4th. The full spoiler for Kamigawa Neon Dynasty just got spoiled, so I'm really looking forward to playing some of those cards, especially in Pauper. I know this isn't a Pauper video, but I'm plugging this now. If you have Pauper videos, if you have Pauper decks you want to see play with these new cards, send them to me. They're going straight to the top of the queue. I'm so excited for Pauper. All right, that aside, you're here for modern content. Please consider throwing me a like before this video begins or subscribing to the channel if you're not already here. Those are the easiest ways to support my content for free. Let's battle. All right, so turn 1 Death Bonnet Sprout is totally something I want to do in this deck. So I can mill myself and get a land on turn 2 and maybe do something else as well. I think this is going to be a keep. All right, so this is the Pain land, right? Yeah, okay, it's just different art than normal. Cool, cool, cool. All right, so land, Sprout, here we go. What do you have for me, opponent? Prismatic Ending, exile your fun thing. Damn it. Ooh, Urza Saga. Can this do something about that? Non-land. Okay, it can hit that, though. That's reasonable. Ooh, I hit a creature. All right, so I get 2 modes. So I can, mill myself and destroy that thing. That sounds good. Giving my opponent Urborg is probably okay, right? I don't need to take damage here. I think that's probably true. Oh, so much text. Okay, target player mills 3 cards, destroy target thing. Me, destroy target thing. Oh no, I've played Urborg, so now I have to like carefully click on stuff. Oh, you're Urborg and Yavimaya. That's a combo. Alright, so opponent's gonna take 1, and now I think this thing just transforms, right? If there are 3 or more creature cards in your graveyard, transform it. Okay. So this thing is gonna get big. My opponent can maybe do some broken things in terms of mana, though. Like, they're gonna get another amulet next turn. Alright, I am transformed. So does this exile 1 now? You can upkeep, you may exile a card from graveyard. If it was a creature, make it bigger. Sure. So do I just Splinterfright this turn? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a 5/5 right now, which is the same as Tombstalker. I guess I need to take a quick look and see if I have anything super toolboxy I could get with a Fiend Artisan. I can Masked Vandal to exile an artifact if I play that. Is this another creature? It is another creature, so I'd have to exile that thing. It's probably important to exile that. Alright, let's go ahead and do that. Play this tapped. Crash in for 3. Alright, opponent's at 16. Yeah, I don't know that I can just like leave my opponent with multiple amulets. Seems pretty sus. Yeah. Like I already destroyed 1, but like a bounce land is just absolutely fucking disgusting here. Alright, so we do the whole untap, tap, untap, tap dance. This will get my opponent to 6 mana for a like Titan. Oh. Oh, that just does that again. Ooh. So what's the like 8-drop land thingy? Is that like Cultivator Colossus, I think is its name? I guess like that could be in my future now. That's sort of horrifying. Alright, 7, yeah. Okay. So like I'm just gonna F6 and whatever happens here happens here. It's going to be bad for me. Like, I expect that I am dead this turn, and the screen will just be absolutely covered in triggers of various natures. Yeah, can't eat. No, just stop. Just stop. I hate this. Okay, so a whole bunch of stuff is going to untap. This gives a mana of any color, right? Yeah. Alright, I'm just going to start talking again once they start casting spells. Okay, so they have untapped and retapped all of these things, netting a rather considerable amount of mana. They also just have like a castle they can activate to get some extra mana here as well. Yeah, so this summoner packs for a Titan. Titan gets to attack this turn. Yeah. I think I can safely concede here. Holy hell. Okay. So that was with disrupting them once. I guess I can punishment for X equals 0 to blow up an Urza Saga. That's a thing. Like, on X equals 1, this also blows up amulets. Yeah, I don't know. Am I supposed to, like, Necromentia and name amulet? And then it seems like they just make land drops and, like, eventually just Primeval Titan anyway. I don't know how well equipped I am to fight this fight. Like, I have things that can attack the artifacts, or I have things that can attack, like, one of the things that actually kills me. But I feel like what I'm doing might just be too slow. Like, I could go down Dark Blast. I could go down, like, 1 Village Rites, 1 Unearth. Get a Thoughtseize in here. Leverage being on the play with that. Like, the Necromentia just, like, loses out on so much if my opponent just has an amulet in play before I play it. Maybe I have to attack them once they're in play. Don't know how great that feels either. Yeah, I'm not, like, expecting my stuff to die under normal circumstances. Maybe the Unearths just, like, aren't particularly great. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Oh, maybe I keep the Bone Shards. Keep that in the sideboard, question mark. I don't know. Like, I have hardly gotten to play this deck in terms of, like, raw number of turns. So I don't have a great feel for, like, what is and isn't keepable and how the matchups are going to play out. We'll kind of try to figure that out this round. Hitting no creatures there is kind of bad for me because, like, I'm planning on killing my opponent with a pair of Splinterfrights, if at all possible. Yep. That's a thing. So this is going to be my green here. Do I just want to play Undead Butler this turn instead? Kill 3 that way. I don't really need a land for next turn. Sure. Can avoid my 1 point of damage in the short term. Add black mana or black mana. Yes, absolutely. I will choose black mana. All right, let's see what we do with this trigger. Super unfortunately, I mill the Masked Vandal, which is something I might have wanted to tutor for. That kind of is what it is. All right. Oh, no. Yeah, I might just die. Yeah. That's super unfortunate. So that gets an Azusa. So my opponent just goes Azusa. They're going to untap, make 2 mana, untap, make 2 mana for a total of 4 mana. Then play Azusa. They'll have 1 mana floating and then be able... Is Azusa plus 2 lands? So just double check. Is it 2 or 3? It's 2 more. So then they can play that bounce land 2 more times. Okay. Yep. This is awful. I am just going to effectively get turn 2'd. Cool. Okay. Yep. There's the growth chamber. So they untap it. They get their mana. So that's 5. Untap goes up to 7. It's really 8-9 with Boros Garrison. If they have a Primeval Titan, I think they just get to attack with it with haste this turn. And I'm just dead to that. Yeah. Cool. That was a great round of Magic. Yep. All right. My deck is not on that level. I can't beat that in any world. All right, round 2. I've got Stitcher Supplier on 1, Stitcher Supplier on 2, Treetop Village on... Or, well, yeah. Keep. Keep is the short version of what I'm saying, and is more eloquent than what I was doing. I can play the Treetop Village tapped on 2, is kind of like where I was going to go with that. But this is going to get a lot of cards in Graveyard, which hopefully means that this thing is going to be big. All right, Scalding Tarn, so we might be playing against like a blue-red Delver-ish deck of some kind, or like Burn. Yep. I mean, Stitcher Supplier is damn good versus Ragavan. Like, totally happy with that. And see how juiced the graveyard is. Not juiced. Not juiced is the answer. All right, sure. All right, so it is looking like it is going to be a mono-red deck of some kind. Where is this going? Okay, it is going at my Stitcher Supplier. There was a world where that did go to my face. Okay, that's, what, 4 cards in Graveyard? Yeah, that's totally reasonable. Yeah, that's fine. A lot of my cards are going to be kind of... Holy hell. Oh my god. Are going to be kind of bad for my opponent to hit. Yeah, so Modern feels really, really high power level right now. Like, those things might be turned on this turn, right? Yeah, there's a creature. Yeah, I'm going to get attacked for 6 in the air next turn, despite the fact that I'm going to wall out the Ragavan. Yeah, I'm dead in 3 turns, with very little recourse for that. I guess I can play multiple Grists. Is this a Stitcher Supplier turn or a Fiend Artisan turn? The Fiend Artisan is like a 6/6 already. I don't have any like random things with reach, do I? Splinterfright has trample. You just get bigger. Tombstalker is a thing. It's very hard for me to get a Tombstalker off one of these, though, right? Yeah, sacrifice another creature. X or less. Yeah, I'm not going to be anywhere near that amount of mana. I think I need to play this Treetop Village tapped this turn. I think that means this is happening. All right. Okay. Treetop Village. And then I can play a Grist and start killing these things in the air. I could also just like straight up lose the Stitcher Supplier to an Unholy Heat or a Lightning Bolt. And just like totally die that way. What is this? Bergy. Wow. Okay. So that's a thing. So there's this problem in that if I sacrifice the grist to take out these things that are killing me in the air, my opponent can attack on the ground again. And I can't really have that right now. I guess I can finish stabilizing the ground and then kill with grist 2 turns in a row. This isn't really a great situation for me, one way or another, though. Yeah, alright. Let's play this. Play a tapped Overgrown Tomb. Now I'm safe from both of these creatures on the ground. And hopefully my opponent doesn't draw a lightning bolt effect, because I will be very dead to it. I'll take my 6 here. This is awful. I would really like to see this deck do its thing. Holy shit. Underworld Breach? Okay. Am I dead now? I'm probably just dead now, right? Just Lightning Bolt twice? Yeah. It's 3? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Dead. Very dead. I have effectively been dead on like turn 3 or 4 every game that I've played so far. So I probably need Gnaw to the Bone for some life gain. I think Turn the Earth technically does some stuff. I don't know that that's enough life to be super relevant. Punishment is a 3-mana sweeper for 1-drops, which is maybe okay. Bone Shards is also maybe okay. Dark Blast is very good in some narrow windows. I'm going to go Thoughtseizes out, Village Rites out, maybe try to get these 5 cards in. I'd have to make a couple other cuts. Tombstalkers seem great. This Mass Vandal Outland Liberator stuff can probably go. Like, I think by the time I try to activate Outland Liberator, the damage has maybe already been done by an Underworld Breach. That does give me 5 cards. I guess I could also technically consider Plague Engineer, but eh. I think I keep this and believe in the deck to give me something that cares about the number of cards that I put in my graveyard. Okay. There was a very long pause on my end where I considered just conceding the game on the spot. That was some shit for me, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little upset right now that we got leylined by Burn after showing them very few cards. Yup. Guess I'll Urborg. I don't really want to take damage. But yeah. My deck really does nothing now. Like, I'm very much built around the graveyard, and this doesn't answer that. Okay. I mean, at least it seems like they kept an absolute crap hand that had a leyline, so like I've got that going for me. I'll use this to kill some of their stuff and burn them at some point. I'm gonna take the damage off this and play an expensive limited creature. Oh no, they found lands. I assume I'm dead somehow. I don't know how I'm dead yet, but like when my deck can do nothing, I don't think my opponent has to worry about me. Alright, I mean, that makes sense as something that's in their deck. I can shrink that and drain them. My land. Alright, shrink that, drain you, or a black and a green. Nice. It will be an absolute miracle if I win this game. Opponent's at 10. I will play a 1/1 that mills me. And we'll see what they can do. Like, they're technically at 8 life because of Witherbloom command, so, like, that's a thing. Alright, Bergie. Sure. I guess I just, like, fire in, right? Yeah, I just fire in. Alright, send them all. You block Eternal Witness. This is a sorcery. I guess that's fine. Like, I guess I'd rather the Bergie be dead at the end of the day, right? Guess I can also draw here just to make sure there's nothing that I would rather do. I wish I had drawn first. I didn't know this was a sorcery. I should have known, but I don't play with this card very much. Alright, choose target creature, choose target opponent. Green, black. You're at 5. I've got a grist for some reach / some removal. What do you have? Opponent's also making, like, very good use of my Urborg, by the way. Alright, more land. Okay, fetch away. Sure. What can you do with your mana? Is this like an Arclight Phoenix deck, too? Oh, just rituals. Sure. Breach, okay. Where are we going with this? That's what I currently do not understand. Okay, there's a Steamkin. Sure. Alright, a Manamorphose. Sure. Into a Bauble. Okay. Is this a modern... Is this like a normal people modern deck, by the way? Or is this a crazy brew? Please let me know in the comments if you are a regular modern player. Because this is all sorts of wild. Alright, there's another Desperate Ritual. I can now cast another thing from Graveyard. But they're not fueling the Graveyard fast enough to be going infinite here. And some of their card draws, like Mishra's Bauble, are delayed. So I feel like this is a value breach rather than something that kills me. But I've been wrong before. Alright, they're going for a Burgie. Okay, that's just their turn. Dark Blast, you're late to the party, friend. Opponent creating multiple creatures here, like, definitely sucks for me. So I just play a Grist. So I can kill one of my opponent's creatures, but it costs me one of my creatures. And then I don't get to attack for lethal. Like, I am 1 point short currently. Alright, so I'm going to sacrifice one of these. My Dark Blast has technical text versus this after those counters are removed, but I think I am just supposed to get rid of that creature. I can shrink this, not in a way that's profitable for me. Go ahead and call it a turn there, and I probably don't get to kill my opponent next turn. I can't just, like, minus Grist again, and I might even be chump blocking to protect this, kind of depending on what my opponent does. It's weird, because, like, if they don't have another creature, they just, like, die for doing that. It's a very good bluff if they do it, and they don't have it. Okay. Not willing to call, because they just 100% die if I don't block. Alright, what's the draw? Land is not what I am looking for. I'll just go ahead and plus here. Now this does kill my opponent next turn. Multiple different ways, really. I can just, like, minus Junkin Insect, kill Burgie, crash in for 2. Runaway Steamkin is fine. So in response to a red spell, I'll just Dark Blast it. I try this now? I think I'll try this now. Just, like, force it from my opponent. Just get more of their interaction out of the way now, if they have it. I'm just going to fetch to thin my deck. I have so many good draws here. Would you like to do anything with your mana? You would not. Splinterfright is a great draw. How aggressive do I want to get? Because I can play Splinterfright, kill one of these, and just try to kill my opponent instantly. I don't know that I actually want to do that, though. Or actually, no, I can't, right? Because this just dies to state-based effects immediately. Because Leyline is a thing. Not like an X+1. Yeah, I guess I'll just tick up then. Maybe I got too jumpy with the... Okay, there's the concession. Maybe I got too jumpy with the Dark Blast, though. It's kind of crap that I have to play these cards that I don't want to play, because, like, my opponent is mulliganing to Leyline. I guess I can, like, in addition to Ragavan, this also clears Runaway Steamkin. Maybe I want this. Ugh, so many of my cards, like Bone Shards, are just going to be, like, considerably worse. Alright, I think I want Eternal Witness out. I'll junk a Bone Shards. Maybe I can't play this many of this effect. Maybe I have to go down a Tombstalker as well. That gets me these 4 cards in. I think that's reasonable. Okay, how's my hand look? This has an answer. Oh, fuck, this doesn't actually answer Leyline, does it? You might exile from your graveyard. Yeah, fuck, I shouldn't have brought that back in. This is good against non-Leyline starts. But I'm stone cold dead to a Leyline. I mean, I did technically win the last game versus Leyline, but my opponent had, like, just, like, nothing going on. I'm gonna mulligan this. This is similar to the last hand in that, but I'm a little better against, like, a Ragavan here. I think I'm going to bin a Tombstalker in fear of a Leyline and see if I have a reasonable game of Magic versus this opponent. Okay, cool. No ley line is like super, super, super important. Yeah, that's fine. Sure. Am I going to get Ragavan? I have a Dark Blast for it, if so. Right, opponent is just fetching now, that's fine. Is this a shock turn? Probably not. I don't want to, like, telegraph a Dark Blast. I'll just play Verdant Catacombs. If my opponent has a creature, I'll Dark Blast it. If they don't, I'll just fetch an Overgrown Tomb and just kind of call that. Sure. Okay. Okay, that's just the turn. Tapped Overgrown Tomb then. There's also some world where I just, like, fucking get Blood Mooned by this deck, too. Is Stitcher's Supplier better than the other things that I can do in this turn cycle? No, I think getting this Fiend Artisan into play is really good. I will shock to do it. There are a lot of worlds where it does just get lightning bolted, though. I don't really care about that since I have 2, but I would like to be able to activate this and sacrifice a Stitcher's Supplier. If I hit a land drop. Sure, Burgi is fine. Witherbloom Command does not kill that. That's a -3, -1. Could Satyr Wayfinder and go for an untapped land to also Stitcher's Supplier this turn. But I think I'm just going to play... Oh, well, this... Maybe I go for mana efficiency here. So that I can do multiple spells next turn. Ooh, I did hit an untapped land. Am I going to ignore the fact that Blood Moon exists? No, probably not, right? I should probably take a black or green source here off this. Yeah, that's fine. All right, so I'll go ahead and fetch here. Grab a black source. Play out the Stitcher's Supplier. This is up to a 3/3. Would be perfectly happy trading this for Burgi on this board. And opponent is not willing to make the trade. That's fine. I'm good against some of their smaller creatures right now, but I am not super great at answering a Burgi right now. Let's see how ridiculous their turn is. They didn't do anything with their initial turns, so like they could do something resembling comboing off here. Sure. There's a good chance this beats me. I don't know how good their deck is in terms of like comboing off. Like, they have not comboed off any of the other times that they played Underworld Breach, right? They've just kind of, like, played a few things for value and then stopped, but I don't know. We'll see. Okay, Pyromancer is not that big of a deal. I guess it adds more cards to Graveyard for the Breach effect. Sure. Little creatures are a thing here. This probably needs to be, like, a Desperate Ritual sort of card if my opponent wants to kind of really continue. Alright, a Manamorphose. Sure. Despite having 8 cards in graveyards, I don't have that many creatures. I only have 2 creatures in there. Sure. Steamkin is fine. I probably don't get to Dark Blast it, though. Oh. That's a thing. Not really expecting that. Oh, they're junking my Stitcher's Supplier? A very large Fiend Artisan. Grape Shot. Okay. Is this going at me, or is this going to kill my creature? Where are these going? Me? Sure. Oh, okay, so that leaves exactly 3 other cards in graveyard plus Grape Shot, so I die to that. Alright, cool. Yeah, so, I'm dead, right? Storm's 9? Yeah. GG's, I guess. Alright, I've kept my opening hand here. I don't exactly think my hand's fantastic. Is that an art? Yeah, that's an artifact land. I don't exactly think my hand's fantastic, but I have some amount of synergy here, and I think Satyr Wayfarer plus Fiend Artisan gives me some stuff that I can start off with and do that is, like, relevant in some way. I assume I am playing against some sort of affinity deck, in which case, hopefully, my Fiend Artisan is better than kind of what they're doing. This Masked Vandal is gonna be reasonable, but a little slow. Yeah. Like, come fucking on, man! I would like to catch a break. Can I catch a break here? Like, that makes it so I don't get to kill this fucking Urza Saga anymore. God damn it. Ugh. What a fucking beating. Ugh. I mean, I'll play towards the world where my opponent doesn't leave mana open for relic or whatever. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I'll exile a card from my graveyard and be super sad about it. What about it? An opponent has like extra mana from Springleaf Drum, so they will be able to just like play a land drop and leave open multiple different things here. Like they can leave open making Urza Saga and doing Springleaf Drum shit. Yeah. Cool. Like, I guess I play a Fiend Artisan here. But, like, my opponent is going to sit on this relic all game. Alright, so make your... Wow. Okay. So... That really better... There's no way that's better than Construct, right? I'm going to attempt to attack in. I would love my opponent to trade for this creature. I don't know that they will. I actively, in fact, think that they should not. Fetch? Probably just fetch, right? Yeah. Puts another card in graveyard for what that's worth. Womp. I'm gonna play this Stitcher Supplier, like, hopefully I can just get my opponent to... Ooh, hold on. Sacrifice a swamp and a forest to return it from graveyard to hand. I don't really want to do that currently. Alright, so there's my opponent's construct. For what it's worth, I think you're supposed to wait on that until after your draw step, to just make sure you don't change your mind about something. Multiple? Like, this is such a pain in the ass, because if I play out any Splinterfright sort of creature, I just immediately lose it when one of these relics gets cracked. Okay. No Metallic Rebuke, please. It's a Metallic Rebuke. Metallic Rebuke. Cool. Cool. Gonna cry myself to sleep. Alright. Yeah. I guess attack with one of these, leave back the Stitcher Supplier, so I can absorb 7 damage. Like, this is rough. Uh-huh. My one of Collector Oof in my sideboard is... Jesus. Okay. I'm done. I will probably just die next turn to a Thought Monitor anyway. This is not happening. Alright, Punishment is good. This is good. This is good. Some of these other things have some amount of utility, but I probably have to just, like, not. I probably need to clear some room in the deck. I think Thoughtseizes are going to go. I think Unearths are going to go. I just need to take out a little bit of graveyard dependency. Actually, maybe Eternal Witness is not great. Maybe one Unearth in that spot. Question mark. The worst part about this is that my opponent might have more post-board graveyard hate for me. Alright, how does this do? This has a way to blow up an artifact. It has a way to blow up an early creature from my opponent. It technically has a payoff card. I still don't think this hand is great. I guess I keep it? Question mark. I think at some point I have to believe that my deck is capable of doing things and that we're not going to 0-4 drop this league. But, not feeling great about my odds. Non-creature spell each turn. I think I give my opponent a card so I can continue to play my stuff on curve. I'm, like, not happy about it. But I really don't think I can not play a 2-drop on my turn and hope to keep up with my opponent in terms of tempo. I don't want to dredge that currently. I want to hit land drops. And play Satyr Wayfinder to work towards that. There's a Treetop Village for me. Fantastic. So hopefully I can use my turn to, like, Masked Vandal away something important, or Witherbloom command a couple of permanents. Yeah. I can Mass Vandal Urza Saga unless they just play a Graveyard Hate card here. Cool. So I guess I just answer this now. Probably by using half a Witherbloom command. This is the worst. Yeah, I guess I'll destroy this, drain you, force that pop. play a tapped land, and then go from there. Like, my opponent can also just immediately convert this into a card draw. There it is. Cool, cool. Tap Treetop Village, crash in for 1. Cry when my opponent actually does something relevant. They're also just going to get a fucking Relic of Progenitus off this Urza Saga if I can't answer it. I need to draw something like a Stitcher Supplier or hit well with Undead Butler, I guess. Alright, cool. So, fetch. Let's just get another black source that's really a dual land. Wait, hold on. They didn't nuke my graveyard, right? This is my graveyard? This is my graveyard. Okay, so Masked Vandal is on currently. Cool. Guess I do just play this still. Really? Can I not get anything? Okay. So now any of the other cards that I play just feed into this relic that my opponent gets. This is miserable. I am not enjoying this. It's round 3, and I haven't really had my deck do like its thing yet at all. I've just gotten absolutely run over by these faster and more threatening decks in every round. All right, yeah, get your thing, get your relic. Yeah. I basically just lose to this deck, right? Like, I can't deal with what my opponent has going on while also, like, doing my game. Okay, at least it got bigger. I guess I can attack in with this safely. I guess I'm going to attack in with that and then play Jarad. I could get in attack with this as a 3/3 while I still can, but I probably just need to get this card out of my hand and hopefully force my opponent to crack the relic. Get in there, little mushroom friend. Alright. They're at 9. Land drop. Into Lich. Sure. Sure. No, I will not pay 3 for Metallic Rebuke. And I can't really sacrifice 2 lands to just bring this back. Sure. The Spirit is fucking broken. Oh, cool. Now they can recur stuff too. Like, they can put a Soul Guide Lantern on top of their deck right now. Yeah, okay. I think I take another draw and then concede to this. I can't hope to beat this deck. Like, they have at least 2 main deck pieces of Graveyard Hate. Probably more. Like, yeah. I'm at 16. Like, if not for the Shadow Spear, I could maybe attempt to race, but I can't do that right now. And, like, the deeper I lean into the graveyard, the more I lose out here, right? I guess I can crack this and try to find something that matters. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Hello. Alright. That's a hell of a card. Yeah, so I can do this for X equals 1 here, somewhat profitably. An instant or sorcery. Sure. Am I jump blocking? I don't think I'm jump blocking. I think I'm just going to take these chip points of damage. Alright, you're at 8. This is the punishment side. For X equals 1. I will snap concede to another Metallic Rebuke. Alright, so that's kind of a 2-for-1, right? Like, I got 2 of their cards, and I also do get this back. I can hopefully rebuild my graveyard and be in an okay position, but my opponent has 6 cards in hand. They can just, like, vomit stuff and get this construct back to a defensible size pretty quickly. Alright, sure. There's gonna be, like, a Thought Monitor. Yeah. Okay. I could really use a big turn here. Alright. That's a hit. That's a fucking hit. Okay. Undead Butler plus Collector Oof for mana efficiency, probably. Alright, there we go. Now, I know my opponent has Portable Holes, so Collector Oof is not necessarily a lights out card, but hopefully it's pretty damn good. It currently only shuts off a Springleaf Drum, but, you know, here's to hoping. I only have 2 creatures in graveyard right now, so I would need to hit one off of this, or I'd need to, like, chump block or something. Opponent also just has Academy Ruins Portable Hole or Academy Ruins Shadow Spear too. Oh, Dispatch. Fuck me, alright. This deck is absolutely just fucking pounding me. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, I just cannot keep with the up with the card quality that my opponent has. Absolutely not. Yeah. Like, now, even a bunch of my best sideboard cards don't really get me out of this situation. I guess I have to take a chump here. I'm just dead in the air next turn, right? In all likelihood. All right. Do we get a slightly bigger creature? I do. All right. That's not what I'm looking for. Can't get over the finish line with a treetop village activation. I'm just dead in the air. Next turn, there's 6 already, plus a Nettle Cyst equip. Yeah. All right. Morale is gone. Let's try to salvage this next round. Hey, if you made it this far in the video, you're probably enjoying my content. And if you're regularly enjoying my content, consider becoming a YouTube member or subscribing to me on Twitch. Either one's fine. And you can gain access to both my Discord server, where you can chat with me a little more casually and sometimes influence what you see on the channel. And you also gain access to some member exclusive videos. Okay, that's the plug. Back to the show. All right, round 4. This is a 1-lander. I really feel like this deck needs multiple mana sources in order to be successful. I'm on the draw. I have 2 draws to hit a land. I don't think I want to risk it. I'd rather just mulligan and, like, yikes, keep something that can do something in the early game. How many draws do I have that makes this acceptable? 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17 draws that make this acceptable? Multiple draw steps to get there? Sure. This hand is obviously weak, and obviously a lot of things can go wrong with it. Opponent is mulliganing to 5. Hopefully their hand is just bad, because if they're doing something degenerate, I am not stopping it. God damn it. They're doing something degenerate. I'm just going to lose on turn 4. Cool. Alright, land go. We're either playing against the, like, elemental deck that plays the Cascade card, or we're playing against a Amulet Titan deck. We're probably playing against the, like, elemental deck. What is it? Glimpse of Tomorrow? Yeah, those colors almost certainly. And that deck is just probably going to pound me. Alright, so I will fetch. I don't think I'm going to pressure my opponent fast enough to, like, outclock their combo, unfortunately. So they get 2 permanents here, and they could potentially go off as soon as next turn, but, like, honestly, they don't need to. They can just wait until their board's better, and there's less of a chance of it backfiring. Alright, not anywhere close to Tombstalker, so I don't think I need to be thinking about, like, the fetch land adding 1 to my graveyard count yet. Alright. Am I dead this turn? Let's see. Like, I can be Shardless Agent into this here, and it's a decent number. Yeah, it's a decent number of permanents. I expect I just lose the game this turn, either literally or effectively. Yeah, that's awful. Okay. The Omnath triggers a bunch of times, giving my opponent a bunch of mana. The Chancellor is going to give my opponents goblins here. They may just, like, do the thing again, right? Like, that's something that, like, very much could happen. All right. So my opponent has 4, 5, 6, 7 mana to work with. Sure. They are evoking the Wave Sifter rather than playing it out, which makes me think they're going to spin the roulette wheel again. Yeah. All right, there's a fetch. Yeah, sure. So, okay, they're suspending a Glimpse. Sure. And then what's the last thing here? Okay, that was cycling a Triome. Yeah, I mean, what am I supposed to do here? Kill Omnath? Leave my opponent with 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 power in play? Yeah. I'm dead. That's disappointing. So what's the plan? Thoughtseize, and I guess Necromantia? Like, there's fringe things I can do, like Plague Engineer on Goblin. Guess Bone Shards is, like, not the worst. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I really have game here, just being honest. I think I have to kind of just hope to steal a game or something. I just don't feel like I'm playing anything remotely close to viable. I don't mean that as a slight to the deck designer here, but, like, I am not getting to play modern here. I guess this is fine. I'm gonna get rid of the unearth. Like, I have not gotten to just, like, hit with the big dumb creatures, and I think I have one game win when my opponent just kept a leyline hand, and I managed to kill them with a bunch of, like, X1 creatures. But let's hope I can just punch a hole here. Arn also just means Tormod's Crypt is coming. Cool. Yeah. My opponent has multiple enablers, so do I just take the thing that gives them more permanence here? Yes. If I can make it to 3 mana before my opponent casts one of these enablers, like, maybe there's a world where I can cast Necromentia and get there. I'm gonna have to hit my land drop. Okay, there's a land drop. Cool. Alright, so I can Necromentia next turn, and then I just have to worry about beating the Karn. Which admittedly will be pretty damn good against me. I guess I can take a Blooming Marsh for next turn, right? It's 2 or fewer? Yeah. Yeah. Alright, so I've got a Blooming Marsh for next turn into Necromentia. Alright, so that's... Now I know all my opponent's cards. Alright, so I'll crash in for my 1. Drop you to 19. And then play Necromantia. And let's rip those glimpses out of my opponent's deck. And then I just need to be able to beat the Karn. Alright. Goodbye, Glimpse of Tomorrows. Yes, yes, yes. Is there anything particularly interesting here? Opponent has Force of Vigors. That's about it. Yeah. So this Karn is still very strong. I have basically no board. I guess this can kill a creature or a planeswalker, right? Yeah, I guess that's how I answer that. So I'll play Satyr Wayfinder, presumably into my Sprout. I'll pick up another Nurturing Peatland. That's totally fine. Yeah. Yeah. And crash in. Oh, wait, hold on. Doesn't my opponent have a Fury? What? Oh, right. That doesn't appear when you search. It doesn't count as revealed for some reason. I guess they could Fury, Pitch Violent, Outburst, clear these, and then my Grist gets slightly more awkward. Maybe that means I'm supposed to sandbag this? Although I don't know. Like, forcing the Fury out of their hand isn't the worst. Alright, there's a Temple Garden. Alright, there's the Karn. I assume just minuses and gets a Tormod's Crypt. Okay, there's the minus. Tormod's Crypt, yep. Alright, there's the Crypt. They waited till their second main phase to do it. Okay, they're gonna exile my stuff, which I guess means Fury is not happening this turn. Which is good for me. Okay, cool. So, land drop, Grist, activate Grist, sacrifice this, blow up the Karn, then I can attack in for a whopping 1 point of damage. Or, well, no, it'll be 2. They won't block with the plant. JK, I lied. It's 2. The next turn I have 5, 6, 7 towards Tombstalker, or I can cycle a Nurturing Peatland, which I'm probably going to do. Like, that taps for mana in the same way that, like, the land does. Okay, sure. Are we Omnothing? Okay, it's another Karn, which is not great, because that can represent some, like, Sorcerous Spyglass type stuff that can be pretty strong. Oh, it's just like Liquid Metal Coating? That's totally fine. Like, I have more than enough lands to not care about that. Alright, let's draw my card here. Another land, sure. If I mill a creature, I flip. I don't. I guess I'll start with a plus on Grist. That's happening no matter what. My insect. Play a land. We'll go ahead and Thoughtseize my opponent. Oh, yeah, they did have a Fury. They just, like, haven't wanted to use it. Which is weird to me. Maybe I don't super care about that anymore. I just don't care about the Liquid Cutting. I'm going to take the Fury. Give this Karn some love taps. Like, attempt to make it so that opponent can't get another card out of it. They'll probably block to protect. They do. Is Ensnaring Bridge a thing that I have to worry about in this format? That's a real question. Thoughtseize. Basically, all the non-creatures can leave without any thought. And then it's just like, do I care about cards in graveyard more, or like 1 life / the ability to cycle this land? I think I care about cards in graveyard more, but it's close. Like, what is this card going to do to me? Didn't board in Force of Vigor, but I still have a couple of main deck outs if it's something like a bridge. I also just have a bunch of X1s that can attack in. Elixir of Immortality. Okay. Sure. Yeah. Don't super care about that elixir. Tombstalker is going to be a fast clock. I don't know why my opponent didn't pitch the Fury to clear my board or kill my Grist earlier in this game. Alright, on the draw, I guess I could consider Punishment for 0 for some of the, like, tokens. That doesn't really feel great to me. Yeah, I think unless I, like, Necromentia my opponent, I can't win this matchup. Thank God. Oh, wait. I only have 2 of these in my deck. I just said I don't think I win without this card, so I'm going to keep this hand, but there's a lot of games where I just miss my land drop and I die accordingly. Okay. Alright. There's also a lot of games where my opponent just, like, wins this for being on the play, and they just, like, do their thing on turn 3. I think, like, that is what it is. I just have to accept that. Land, please. That's not quite a land. So let's shock and Stitcher's Supplier and see what we get. I mean, that increases my creature count. I need to hit running land drops. If I hit the first one here so I can Satyr Wayfinder and get my next land, like, there's a chance that I'm not just outright dead, but I am not super optimistic about my chance of winning. If my opponent wants to attack here, I think the answer is no. Yeah. So we lose this one. I can unearth the Grist. That's, I guess, a thing. Yeah, I guess I'll do that. Like, that's a meaningful play. I'll plus this, and I kind of just want to be able to potentially hide behind Grist, but like, my opponent can potentially just do their thing this turn, and leave me in a bad spot. I'm kind of powerless about it. I don't regret the keep, because I just don't think I can beat my opponent's deck with the deck that I have without Necromentia. But, like, this was something that could have happened anyway, right? Like, this just happening prior to me hitting my turn 3. So, you know, that's a thing. This is a fair amount of mana. My opponent got 2 Omnoths, which is why, like, this many triggers are going on the stack. So my opponent is going to get approximately 1 billion mana, because, like, this landfall ability is going to trigger twice, so that's like 2 cards and 8 mana and 8 life. Yeah. Bad news, plus a few goblins. If my opponent can spin the roulette wheel again, I expect that they just outright win. Like, the damage is also probably done, right? Like, I potentially just, like, don't even beat this here. Because my Grist is now dead. 4 damage to each opponent and each planeswalker you don't control. It's good. Alright. So, there we go. Alright, there's a Fury. Yeah, so my opponent can just, like, wipe my board at this point and crash in for 2 this turn, followed by lethal next turn. I'm at 13 already because of the multiple Omnoth triggers. Yeah, I'm dead. Like, I don't come back from that. That's That's an 0-4 drop league. I'm going to join the next match, and I'm going to see if we play against a reasonable deck. If it's a deck that I'm just going to immediately lose to, I'm just going to drop the league and end the video. But maybe we can give this one more shot. All right, round 5. I have a 1-lander here, and again, I think this deck needs multiple mana sources in order to function. This has 3 1-drops. Maybe I just keep this hand. I think I throw back the Grist. I think it's just too much mana for right now. All right. What is Marsh Flats gonna mean? Like Hammer Time, maybe? That's a Luris deck frequently, though, so I don't know. I lose my Stitcher's Supplier here. I think. I don't know. It, like, depending on what my opponent's playing, the Witherbloom command could be important. All right. I did lose the Stitcher's Supplier, as I suspected. Oh, Grist is back. Don't really want that. Need to hit my second land drop, and then I can use the mill 3 mode on Witherbloom command to try to hit my third land drop. Alright. Okay. I lose to that. I am not going to beat a Cauldra. I don't have land drops to get to Grist in time. And this is not gonna kill that. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Yep. Any ways to beat a Cauldra? I guess a Masked Vandal will. Okay. No way to tutor for that currently. Yep. Alright. I guess I'm draining and milling. I guess I can attack. Get in there. Some world where my opponent blocks, right? It is not this world. Right, mill 3 and drain. Mill 3, drain. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I do hit another land drop. I do, unfortunately, mill one of my Fiend Artisans, which is one of my tutors for an answer to Cauldra. Does my opponent have another Thoughtseize effect? Yes, they do. Yeah, so I lose the Grist, which was going to be pretty good for me. Then I'm on a 5-turn clock. I guess there's a world where I outclock my opponent and force them to put the Cauldra on the defensive. Like, that's a thing. Alright. Land drop. So 1, 2, 3, 4 cards in graveyard right now. I guess I'm just playing this with no X value. Just like play this. Play that for 0. Crash in for 3. My opponent's still at 9. Like, this isn't quite lethal. My opponent will do awful, awful things to me. Oh, what is this? Picked Torok, okay. That's protection from white. That is what it is. Okay. So I eat that. It's kind of weird. I guess I use this ability. Dunk a creature to grow that. It makes this smaller, though. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. Destroy. Destroy. 5, 6, 7, 8 on the crackback. I'm not dead on the crackback. I guess I need to try to kill my opponent next turn. Attack with everything. I can trade this here. I don't think I'm in a position to kind of play around anything here. I'll crash in, take that trade. My opponent will jump for 4. And I'll see if I can put my opponent dead. Alright. There's the Liberator. Any removal spell or any creature keeps my opponent alive. Alright. What do you have? Oh my god. Yeah, that's 4 blockers, alright. None of this stuff tramples. None of this stuff tramples. Yeah. Absolutely. So, yeah, I mean, I guess I'm doing this, right? I can start exiling my opponent's creatures now, though. Unearth. Unearth can get like a Fiend Artisan or a Grist. Okay. I mean, I guess I'm just sending with all of it. So there's 2 obligatory blocks, which I'm guessing is all my opponent takes. Yeah. Puts them to 3. Now I'll unearth. These play around different things. Like, I can target Fiend Artisan because it's better against blocking the Cauldra. Or I can Grist and plus because it makes my opponent's life more awkward if they can't kill me. I guess either one loses to a removal spell, right? Yeah, both lose to a removal spell. Yep. Let's get a Grist then. I guess I could minus Grist, sacrifice this. I think I need to, like, be going wide, though, if I'm going to kill my opponent. So, like, the minus Grist line means that I don't die to a removal spell, but it means that I'm less likely to actually kill my opponent. Alright, they've done whatever thinking they're going to do. It's me. They're attacking me. I'll block with my insect. This is ultimately going to put me to a single point of life. There are some, like, planeswalkers and stuff that can kill me. Alright. I'll use this ability. I'll junk your Turok. Alright. I got incredibly lucky to win that. Incredibly lucky. Alright. Force of Vigor destroys, so that doesn't beat Kaldra. I probably need just anything that interacts with my opponent early, like Thoughtseize and Bone Shards, to beat my opponent. I can consider Punishment to just, like, burst through some Lingering Soul tokens. Dark Blast also helps with that a bit. I don't know if this is actually reasonable on the draw. It's very slow. I want these two cards. I probably just cut, like, an Unearth and a Village Rites or something like that. Outland well, my opponent's gonna have other equipment besides Kaldra, right? Presumably. I'd probably leave that in there. Maybe an Eternal Witness is just too slow and kind of bad against exile-based removal. I think on the play I want these. I don't think I want them on the draw. One land, auto mulligan. One land, auto mulligan. Oh, this is even worse than the last hand. Okay. This is going to be a keep. I probably have to throw back the tapped land and Witherbloom Command, question mark? This hand does a lot of damage to me, in a way that I very much don't like. It's also a little soft to a Thoughtseize, because a Thoughtseize effect taking my Thoughtseize means that I'm just playing a bad deck, like with a couple of Fiend Artisans. Yeah. Alright. So I expect to lose to a turn 2 Stoneforge Mystic this game now. See if my opponent has it. They just have no recourse. Yep. There's a couple of things I can top deck to be okay in this situation. That's too slow. I don't have a creature in play. I'll play this. I don't necessarily expect it to be good here. Like, it's a 1/1 currently. And my Bone Shards is going to be too late to answer the Stoneforge Mystic, because I mulled to 5 here. Yeah. Alright, I'm on a 4-turn clock right now. I need more mana. I can sacrifice a creature and pay 4 total mana, or 4 total mana in order to get my thing that beats Kaldra. I'm missing land drops right now, so that's not super likely. Yeah, I think I'm dead this game. But I said that last game too, and I pulled it together, so, like, I'll endure. Maybe the Sprout is better than just playing towards mana efficiency here. Or wait, it's 1 and then X. So I need 3 mana to do it. Maybe I should have played the Sprout. Rather sacrifice a Sprout than a Fiend Artisan. But I don't know, the Sprout. Okay. That's a nuisance. That's gonna keep my creatures from getting larger. Yeah. Rough. Also very hard for me to actually kill. Yeah, I think even if I answer the Kaldra, I don't think I can beat that as well. Like, from the life total that I'm going to be at. Alright, do I want punishment when I am on the play? It is a way to answer that card that I just saw. It also answers Lingering Soul tokens. It can technically answer a Stoneforge Mystic if things are real bad. Alright, maybe junk a Village Rites. Maybe junk the Dark Blast for the Lingering Souls. Like, I'm bringing in other things that are fine against that. How good is Witherbloom Command? It's essentially just helping me make a land drop, right? Most of the rest of the modes aren't particularly great. Yellow Turok, I guess. Got one of those. Kind of like cutting a mana source, though, which I don't love. Like, this has 21 mana sources. This is reasonable. I, again, do not like how much damage I am doing to myself here. But this is reasonable. Like, I'm doing 4 damage to myself on turn 1, another 1 damage to myself on turn 2, and probably 2 damage to myself on most turns after that. But here's to hoping I just, like, dismantle my opponent's hand. Oh. Yeah, I think I just take their hate card, let them Inquisition my Fiend Artisan, and, like, go from there. Yeah. Alright. This means I'll probably end up taking a little bit less damage, because my opponent will go Swamp Inquisition this turn, and then I probably lose Fiend Artisan? I can't play old Stickfingers immediately. Yep, alright, there goes the Fiend Artisan, as expected. Alright, you remember a minute ago when I was talking about, like, not taking damage? Like, that was a lie. Alright, I'll take the Liliana. My opponent is left with 3 lands. I am at 14 life, though. Like, my situation is probably better than my opponent's, but my situation is not good. How's that? That hopefully enables some bullshit on my end. Pop this out. Okay, that's multiple creatures. So I guess that means I just go deeper into the hurt tank to do this. What is this, a 4/4/3/3? 3/3? Alright. I've got 4-ish power in play, plus or minus a little bit. Alright, what do you have? Stoneforge? Prismatic Ending. I have 1 power in play. So that's going to legend rule that, allowing my opponent to get a Godless Shrine. Ooh, a Triome for Prismatic Ending. Sure. I can't play any of these cards. I probably don't cycle a land this turn so that I can draw a land and play this. It's just better than a lot of things I could do on less mana, Kappa. Now I'm going to cycle a Peat land, I think. There's also a world where my opponent takes the Mask Vandal there, because, like, Stoneforge Mystic is such a good top deck for them. Alright, end of turn. Let's cycle. Not the worst. That is really fucking good. Okay. Attack for 1. Opponent goes to 16. And then I'll play a Tombstalker. I'll just basically try to cut as many not creatures as I can. Alright, that's a real threat. My opponent's on a 3-turn clock. Okay. They're cycling. They'll probably end up, like, losing to a Aldra, right? Probably. There it is. I guess I'll find out for sure. Well, I guess I have the Masked Vandal, and I still do. Okay, Batterskull, sure. Batterskull's annoying. My opponent gets 1 more land, it plays around Masked Vandal. I think I'm actually supposed to attack in with this as well. That opponent doesn't block. Route. Route. Yeah, so my opponent can potentially put in a Batterskull and then bounce it. So my attacks with a bunch of these creatures don't look particularly good right now. Okay. Cool. Cool. This Batterskull's a pain in my ass. Sorcery, right? Yeah, it's a sorcery. I'll crash in with my Tombstalker for 5. Puts my opponent to 5, but then they're going to be able to put in a Batterskull and do some work. Yup. So now they can attack for 4 on their turn. And then they're going to have enough mana up that they can pick up the Batterskull and put it back down in a way that's very annoying for me. I'm going to chump here. Like, my graveyard getting bigger helps me with some top decks. Okay. Alright. So I can slowly make my stuff bigger. Yes, I'll use this ability. Dunk your Sanctifier in Vec with 1. Yes. Dunk, like, my Satyr Wayfinder with another. So next turn I can just safely attack with these through Batterskull. And play Crime Punishment here, junk this. I can just straight up hold back for a turn. Like, I'm winning this over time currently. And if my opponent commits a whole bunch of mana, I can blow them out with Masked Vandal or Crime Punishment. Okay, they've just got more lands. That's fine. Is the Batterskull coming in? It is. I will block with the Tombstalker. And I expect them to just say, like, yes, that's fine. What's the follow-up? Oh my god. The shit part here is my opponent has 3 mana available to bounce Batterskull. Fuck. Am I going to need green in any circumstances? Maybe. Probably not. Jarad. Alright. I need my opponent to tap more mana so that I can blow them out. So they 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If they just play it without drawing a land, I can kill it. They're thinking about whether or not they bounce it. I think they know about my Masked Vandal, right? Yeah. Alright. I need them not to have a land as their draw for turn. Alright. This is presumably the Batter Skull, right? Yep. Alright. That's not doing it for me. Yep. Gonna cycle this immediately, I think. Like, the cards that I have access to currently aren't doing it. That, though, that's a big boy. 6/6? 6/6. This is also just going to scale. Alright, Thoughtseize means that my opponent can permanently get rid of this Masked Vandal. Yep, as expected. Now, notably, that is another creature. Like, that's a thing. Let's mill more creatures. Alright, so I am up to a 9/9. Is this the point where I sacrifice a forest and a swamp and just return this to my hand and play it? Probably is. Alright, let's crash in for my 9. Here we go. Alright, so my opponent blocks. That's fine. Take 5. So, yeah. I'll sacrifice a swamp and a forest. Turn this to hand. Play this. So the thing that this doesn't play around is Dam, but this plays around a single removal spell. So, you know, can't have it all. A top deck Dam will just absolutely utterly savage me, and I don't have the mana available to activate Jarad. Don't actually have the Dam. Okay, it's just the Batter Skull coming back. That's totally fine. Alright, yep. That's good for me. Alright, mill 2. There's a 9/9. Yeah, so I can just destroy everything with CMC 0 here. Wrong color. Oh, that's a fetch land. That's not a overgrown tomb. Green, black. Destroy the 0 drops. Swing in for 20. Note, if this was like just a white creature or something, we could do it. Alright, and I get a 1/4 in this league after winning a round in the metaphorical losers brackets. Overall thoughts on the deck? Not playable. Don't mean it in a negative way, but like, this is not a viable deck. Basically, in every round, my opponent did something threatening and fast, and I do nothing threatening fast. I have some cool endgame things, but Fiend Artisan as a toolbox engine didn't work. I was just dead by the time it happened. And a lot of these things that I have that are bigs later on just do not keep up with the speed of the format. Like, there are cool ideas here, but I don't have as many generic answers as I need to the stuff that my opponents are doing. You know, I don't have the abrupt decays here that are answering things like Stoneforge Mystic that are threatening to take the game away from me in the early game. Like, there's some very cool interactions here with Unearthed Grist, and like, there's good synergistic deck building, but I just don't feel like the synergy here makes up for the deficit in power level that this deck has relative to everything else that I played. Like, my opponents had things like Urza Saga and Amulet of Vigor that were really pushing the game in their favor quickly, and I have nothing in this deck that pushes the game in my favor quickly. The closest thing I have is Stitcher's Supplier, and that still usually requires more mana investment. So I don't really think this one works, and like, they're not all going to be bangers. I also think this deck needs a higher land count than it has. I think that in order to really be effective, this deck needs to hit multiple land drops, and I'm not even sure that you can afford like this tapped Treetop Village, because it's so important for you to be able to play these 2 drops on curve and some of these 3 drops like Splinterfright on curve. Yeah, I I don't know, like, maybe I made some mistakes in playing this, like, I'm sure I did, like, maybe I boarded out Unearth too aggressively, but the graveyard hate that I faced was just absolutely crippling for me, and I felt like I didn't have a good plan B since this deck is so built around graveyard synergy that when I was facing down relics and ley lines, it was just, like, no good for me. All right, I'm going to go ahead and call it there. Have a great rest of the day, folks. Please like the video on your way out. If you made it all the way this far, I would really appreciate it. And if you have something you want to see on the channel or you want to end up messing around with this deck list, that information is always available in the video description. See ya!